Hi, Dudley Charlton students. Mr. Earl back with this week's math video. The topic this week is the area of parallelograms and triangles. Before I get started, I was reviewing some of my past videos and I realized that I didn't tell a joke for the last couple weeks, so I know you've been disappointed, so I owe you a couple. Here's the first one. Where do geometry teachers go when they work for the government? The Pentagon. Joke number 2. What did the geometry teacher say when his parrot went missing? Polygon?
Wow!
All right. So anyway, today's topic is the area of parallelograms and triangles. With me on my desk, I have a cookbook. And if you're asking yourself, what does a cookbook have to do with math? I'll tell you. Let's say you were making an apple pie and you left out the sugar. That apple pie is not going to taste too good. If you try to calculate the area of a parallelogram or the area of a triangle, we use what's called a formula. And formulas are a lot like recipes. You want to make sure you use every part of the formula in order to get a correct answer. A parallelogram is a four-sided figure with opposite sides that are parallel. Some of these examples are a square or a rectangle or even a rhombus. Let's practice with our first object, a rectangle here, which certainly classifies as a parallelogram. Remember, the definition of a parallelogram is a four-sided figure with opposite sides that are parallel. I've pre-measured this rectangle just to save us a little time. The formula for the area of a parallelogram is base times height, or area equals base times height. The base of this rectangle, the measurement that goes right across here, is 11 inches. The height of our rectangle is 4.5 inches. Remember, when you are calculating the area of an object, the label is always in units squared. Let's take a look at another parallelogram, this one right here. Remember the formula. Area equals base times height. So if our base is the measurement along the bottom here, where would our height be? Well, our height is actually a line that goes up and down right here in this position of this parallelogram. Right from this corner, right up to the top. And again, I've pre-measured these to save us a little time. The base is 18 centimeters. The height is 10.5 centimeters. If we multiply those two numbers together, 18 times 10.5 is 189 centimeters squared. The next shape I want to talk about is a triangle. And again, that has a formula as well. Remember what I said about formulas. Formulas are a lot like recipes. You want to make sure you include every part of the recipe to make a good cake or make a good apple pie. Well, you want to make sure you include the whole part of the formula to calculate the area of a triangle. I'm going to show it big on the screen here for you. The area of a triangle is 1/2 times the base times the height. 1/2 b times h. Have a couple of triangles here for you that we'll take a look at in just a minute. But something curious that I wanted to show you here. If you take a look at this object right here, you'll notice that it's a parallelogram. And remember, the formula for the area of a parallelogram is base times height. If I cut this object in half, I'm basically left with a triangle, which makes a lot of sense when you think of the formula for the triangle is 1/2 base times height. Once again, I have pre-measured my triangles to save us a little bit of time. Area of a triangle, 1/2 base times the height. 1/2 times the base times the height. The base of this triangle right here, I've pre-measured at 5 inches. The height is this side right up here. I've measured that at 8 inches. So I plug that into the formula. 1/2 times base times height, we would get 1/2 times 5 times 8. Now, if you remember from our order of operations, you can multiply those in any order that you like. We could say 5 times 8 is 40, and then 1/2 of 40 is 20. So let's try to calculate the area of this other triangle. I've already measured the base, this part right down here, and the height. The height goes from the very top of the triangle right down to the base. Our base for this one, this time I measured in centimeters, our base is 26 centimeters, and our height from the top right down to the base is 23 centimeters. So let's plug those numbers into the formula. Remember, area equals 1/2 base times height. 1/2 times 26 times 23. And when you multiply those three numbers together, you get 299 centimeters squared. Right now I'm going to put a couple practice problems for you up on the screen and have you give those a try. We'll do one parallelogram and one triangle. Well, that brings another math video to a close. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, this is Mr. Earl reminding you to stay safe and be kind to each other. So long.